school psychologist.
No, you're not.
I also have 3.
You can't be a certified school psychologist, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not licensed. Umar Johnson is not licensed. He's no better than Miss Bryant, who we are all now questioning her background and credentials. Umar is no better.
Master's degrees in the field of psychology, clinical, school, and general.
He may have taken courses on clinical and school in general, but if you did not get a license, he did not get a license, y'all. You can't practice on nobody, kids, adults, nobody. That's why he lost his job way back in Philadelphia at a school.
Now, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has exploded into social media space. Her career has really taken off since I first learned of her around the time of my last Nick Cannon interview approximately 2 years ago. I have followed her here and there. She is a stunningly beautiful woman.
Of course, he's going to say that because that's all Umar Johnson thinks about is the cookies, y'all.
She also claims to have her doctorate in psychology. She claims that she went to Argosy University.
So you see, Umar Johnson even says that she claims, but he will never define himself as a person that claims. He'll say, I have it. But you're going to see how he continues to cape for her.
And I'm not doubting nothing she says because I have no reason to.
Why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I'm not an influencer, right? I'm a doctor of psychology.
So I've been in private practice as a doctor of psychology for 17 years.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where you're standing.
The school closed down. She has some issues with the transcript, the degree, whatever the case.
That's a lie because I just showed you all the proof that she can get her transcript. She lied. You also heard the psychologists that were on the Isaiah Factor who said the same thing I said. The parchment portal is where she can get it from.
Maybe. She has a book out now. It's a best-selling book, Art, and it's doing.
Shut up, Umar Johnson. I'm now finding out, ladies and gentlemen, that because of this controversy, it's actually been hurting her book. And people are now questioning the book as well. Let's go. Umar Johnson acts as if he's so informed, but he really is not informed.
Very well. She's been interviewed. She's been on Shannon Sharp. She's been on Nick Cannon. She's been on Cam Newton. She's been on Joe Button, right? She's a big name amongst.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier, folks. These people platform individuals like Cheyenne Bryant, and that gives people like Cheyenne Bryant as well as Umar Johnson, who goes on these spam podcasts, and these people do not vet these people to find out whether they're legitimate, and then by default, they become legitimate to people because they were on the Breakfast Club, because they were on the Joe Budden's podcast and this podcast and that podcast. And you begin, then some people begin to believe that that makes them legitimate when they're not. And these podcasts are doing us a disservice to our community, y'all. Let's continue with Umar's lies.
She goes on the Breakfast Club and they ask her about her degrees and she explains about what happened with the school. I don't know the details. I don't care. People start to roast her and attack her, claiming she's fraud. She then goes on Joe Budden. Shout out to them. I didn't see the interview, Art, but allegedly they say Joe Budden and them asked her some really good questions that left more unanswered than answered. For the past 2 weeks, Art, she has been the butt of everybody's internet joke. Here's what I'm going to say.
No, shut up, Umar. This isn't about it being an internet joke. It's about transparency. It's about being truthful. And that's all black people are asking for. If she had been honest in the first place, nobody would be dragging her, because if she would have been transparent, as you don't show transparency what that bando buildings you have, none of this would have happened to her because she would have been out front and just told people, hey, this is what I have credentials in. This is what I don't have credentials in. People are mad at the things that she's claiming that she's had that they can't find. And black women have every right to be mad because they were listening to this woman. But of course, Umar, he gonna say, well, you know, black women hate black women because he's trying to be in good favor with Cheyenne Bryant, which I already showed you that he was corresponding with her on his what? On his, should I put this up here? On his Instagram page. I think she responded to Umar. And of course, Umar likes to get into those cookies, if you know what I mean. Back to it.
And other doctors of psychology don't agree. Cheyenne Bryant having or not having a doctorate does nothing to my doctorate, Art.
Now, right here, Umar Johnson is making it about himself. He's making it about himself that what's going on with her doesn't affect his degree. It isn't about you, Umar. You make everything about you because you, just like the sister said earlier, are a narcissistic personality as well. And we're hearing from a man. This is a man, everybody. I want to be very clear here. This is a man that does not take care of his own children that he's got out there, that by baby mamas that he's got out there. This is a man whose own daughter called him out as a deadbeat, sitting up here trying to give his breakdown of Cheyenne Bryant.
It does nothing to my career. It does nothing to my profession.
Why did Umar Johnson make this about his career, his profession? What are you talking about, man? This is the narcissism of Umar. Umar Johnson jumps himself into this mix because he has to make everything about himself at the end of the day.
I don't have a need to investigate her. I don't have a need to slander her, to belittle her, to malign her, to assault her. I don't have no need to do anything against that black woman because she hasn't hurt anybody. She is a life coach, Art, and you don't have to be certified or have a doctorate or a license to be a life coach.
Shut up, Umar. This is not the reason why she's in all this hot water with the black community. People are not jumping on this woman you see on the screen, Cheyenne Bryant. People are not coming at her in a nasty way because she is just a counselor that you don't have to have a degree or whatever for that. People are coming at her because she's appears to have lied allegedly about having those credentials that requires more education, requires a dissertation, requires a PhD to be gotten, that requires clinical licensing. That's what they're angry about because she has portrayed herself as having those credentials and guiding black women or guiding people with those credentials that she's claimed to have on all these podcasts that she's been on. That's why, Umar, not because, as you said, you don't have to have a degree to do family counseling. Everybody already knows that. You get a certification for that. That's not why people were coming at her. See, Umar Johnson is the most ridiculous, poor example of a man.
She ain't misdiagnosed nobody. She ain't done no clinical work without a license. I haven't seen any wrongdoing from Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So what do I think is going on here, Art? I believe that black women, I'm going to call the kettle black.
Here we go.
Some men too, but mostly black women are attacking her out of jealousy. They are jealous of her looks. They are jealous of her life coaching career. They are jealous of her podcast.
Now, I've just heard enough of that. Now, Umar goes to the low-hanging fruit there. Yes, could there be black women out there who just don't like Cheyenne Bryant because they think that she thinks that she's all of that in a bag of cookies? Yes, there might be black women out there who are hating on her, who don't like her. either because they don't like the way she flaunts herself around. You know, there could be that. But in this case, black women were actually, this is where Umar Johnson, in my opinion, is wrong, okay? Because her following, just like Umar Johnson, her following is mainly female. So if black women were hating on her, why does she had, or how did she able to gather a large female following? I'll tell you why. Because she portrayed herself in areas that she wasn't qualified. That's why these black women are turning on her, because she lied about credentials that she tried to fake the funk that she had or that she was. That's why, Umar. Now, could there be other things, like you said, other variables that they don't like her because she's light-skinned? Because, yeah, we know we have colorism, unfortunately, in the black community still lingering. And unfortunately, you're going to always have people that's jealous of you, what you accomplish, what you have that they don't have. These things happen. But no, man, I think that the bottom line is she got caught in her misspeaking, her lies or what have you. And people didn't appreciate that. And I think that's why black women turned on them. And they had every right to call her out.
Where did you graduate from and you got your PhD?
My undergraduate education was from Millersville University. 3 degrees, political science, psychology, master's in school psychology. Subsequent to that, Pennsylvania certification as a school psychologist, which I've been for almost 20 years. After that, I got my educational leadership master's degree and principal certificate from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I earned my doctorate degree from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, American Psychological Association approved program, one of the top psychology training programs on the East Coast. 6 degrees in all. And anyone can lift up a telephone and call and verify those degrees.
So when you see folks who question your degrees, your response?
It's because my narrative is a whole lot different from the average mainstream black scholar. I don't parrot the narrative that the American social order wants black scholars to parrot. I tell the truth. I don't scratch unless I itch, and I don't dance unless I like the music. And because they're not used to having someone with a traditional education posit non-traditional views, people will automatically start to question his credentials. How did he get this far believing what he believes in? Well, you have to play this
both ways.
You know,
Both ways.
so I always encourage people to research. And by the way, the research that I do is not just online, but I encourage people to pick up the phone, use the good old pen and paper, make phone call, and get certified records if necessary, and that can be found. I went to I went to the state of Pennsylvania to look up yours, and I'm not trying to challenge you, doctor. Really, I'm not. I just want our people to not only listen to and hear from a man who is speaking truth to our people, but I also want them to be cognitive and smart enough to do your own research. So anyway, when I went to the state of Pennsylvania where you practice, the state of Pennsylvania, there was nothing under the name Umar Johnson. So what name is your degree under? Your certified psychologist degree. Hello?
Umar trying to act like he didn't hear the question. What's this?
Dr. Umar?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I was asking you.
No, I heard the question. Let me answer you. When you earn a doctorate degree in psychology, the state Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate, yes.
He don't have a license. He never has. Watch this.
Who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate, yes, ma'am. Their license and their license only. I have.
He never had a license, and he admits that. I have it. Let me go see if I can find it. But you hear what he said?
Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate. Yes, ma'am. Their license and their license only.
You see that? He doesn't have a license. He never did. And I have the video where there's 3 videos where he admits that he doesn't. He does have the doctorate, yeah.
I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist. Your certification does not come from the state board.
Yeah, he was at that time, but he currently has no certifications, no professional certifications in 2026, and he's never had any licenses, never, except his driver's license. That got revoked for non-payment for child support several times. Anyway.
Your certification comes from the State Department of Education. The only person we have a doctorate is the school I graduated, because the State Board of Psychology does not keep those records, nor are they interested in those records. They keep a record purely of those who are licensed. I do not hold a license. And the reason I do not hold a license is...
And now he says he doesn't hold one, which is the truth.
Because my expertise is in school psychology, in which I am certified. That's where I spend 95% of my time. I do conduct clinical evaluations. And since I'm not licensed, if I conduct a clinical evaluation, that means...
By the way, in 2005, Umar was unemployed. He's lying there too.
Means I have to get a licensed psychologist to sign off on my evaluation for clinical work. For psychoeducational work, I don't need anybody to sign off because I am certified. The problem is when people are not in a particular field, they don't understand the regulations of the field. They don't understand the different areas of the field, and they'll go looking for something that they know nothing about and end up.
Yeah, he explained this again in May 25th of 2017 when he was in Nagoya, Japan. He talks about how he doesn't have a license.
Drawing false conclusions about the person they research.
And see, that's just the point. People have a right to look up who is going inside of their minds. People have a right to know what type of doctor, be it medical or psychological, they have a right to know who those people are. And so going back to the question, for your certified psychology degree, what name can we find it under?
A psychology degree. You get a degree from an institution.
Okay.
As I said again, my certification comes from the State Department of Education, as I said a moment ago.
Dr. Umar, why is it so hard for you just to answer the question?
Because I answered your question, and I think it's a ridiculous waste of time
that
we're worrying about where I got my degrees from instead of educating your parents on the law.
We want to educate our people. That is very true, Dr. Umar.
You're spending a whole show on my degrees.
Well, but it didn't have to take that, Dr. Umar.
For 20 years, ma'am.
Dr. Umar, listen.
Like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you.
Miss that smile, Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.